Dr. Jim, you are the author of ABLLS-R and AFLS, so can you tell us a little bit more about two assessment tools and what are the difference between them?
It's the assessment of basic language and learning skills. And I developed this assessment over many years. Typically developing children start going to kindergarten. And those children are readily able to understand what the teacher is saying. They're able to ask questions, to get information. They've got a huge vocabulary, and they can tell you about their experiences. If you can get a child who's been diagnosed with autism up to about that level at an early enough time in their life, then they have a good shot at being able to make it as a regular education student. So when I developed the ABLLS-R, it was really taking a look at what are all those skills that a typical child comes to school with, ready to learn. And I call those learning to learn skills. But in addition to those skills, they also need to focus a little bit on academics for a comprehensive assessment for school systems. But then also they need to be able to take care of themselves with their basic needs, some basic self-help skills. Eating, dressing, grooming, toileting, to develop their motor skills. So they have to have gross motor skills and fine motor skills. I revised it over the years. That's why it's called revised. It's used to measure 544 skills from 25 different areas, which is a comprehensive assessment of the skills at that early level. The idea, again, is that when we use the ABLLS-R, we do that for an assessment purpose. It's an assessment. It's not a test. The items in each of the categories is put in order from simpler to more complex. We start by teaching the simpler skills, and then we build up those skills in each of the categories to more complex skills. And then we try to make sure we tie them together across all the different skill areas. That's the ABLLS-R for young children, to get them going. The AFLS, or the Assessment of Functional Living Skills, takes that self-help skills, and there's over 1,700 skills. Basic skills, self-help skills, safety skills, and so forth. And then it also goes into skills that you would use like in the home, the community, in school. It also looks at vocational skills for older individuals. And tying it all together for those who've done really, really well in those skills, there's an independent living skills assessment too. So it's broken up into 6 different protocols, several hundred in each of them. And we kind of pick and choose which areas to emphasize based on the learner's needs at the moment. So that's kind of it between the two assessments. The reality is that many of the individuals will never develop some of those advanced language skills. The ability to ask for information or the ability to talk about their experiences, they may never be able to do that. Some individuals are going to be delayed. And so the emphasis is, what do you do with these children who are not picking up these skills in spite of having really effective educational people working with them? If they're not going to develop these skills, they still need to get along in the world. And so at some point in time, the emphasis changes from the basic language and learning skills over to more functional skills. Because regardless of if they're able to develop these, they still need to be able to take care of themselves as much as possible.